Afternoon PooTube, hope everyone's good. Now, a couple of things. Jupiter did a live last night. I want to go over a bit of that. Triller did a live last night and allowed myself and Ghost to go at it a little bit, to the point where Ghost had to do a Chrissy Morris and go and run off for his food. So I have shared partial part of it or whatever on the premiere today. On there is Triller's link. If people can sub to Triller's, support him, do you know what I mean? Support him. Him and Raj have had a good chat and whatever, and I can see nothing but good things coming from that channel. So by all means, support, subscribe, support, whatever. Now, a lot of people will remember the attacks that Jupiter and Wendy, etc. have done on Shield, Paul Thorpe, Mayor Tusi, the bodyguards, close protection, etc. Of people like Paul Thorpe, not Paul Thorpe, Mayor Tusi and whatever, especially when they got onto the thing of, oh well, you know, Mayor Tusi's bodyguard. Bear in mind, they started out with the Mayor Tusi's a plant from the left. Why is he going to lefty demonstrations? Why does he need bodyguards? Blah blah blah. He's obviously a plant. All this bullshit. Now, like we said at the time or whatever, lots of people go and confront the left. It doesn't make you a lefty plant to confront the left. That's just mentally fucking retarded way of thinking. Now, myself as an example or whatever, will generally, before going to any demonstration, will go to the opposite side of it and confront the lefties. That doesn't make you a lefty to go and confront lefties and show lefties up for the thick fucking idiots that they are or whatever. Most lefties don't even know why they're there. They're busting, they're paid, they stand there with signs, and half of them have not even read the sign that they're fucking holding. They're in a proper embarrassment to the left as a whole. So yeah, go and confront them as much as possible. Do it on camera, do it often, and show these people for what they are. Now, because Mayor Tusi did that, and he took bodyguards, because you kind of fucking need them, because they're violent, emotional, hysterical, fucking weak people that just spaz out and fucking attack people when they can't answer with words. Yeah, you need bodyguards, or you need to be on your toes at least. Now, because Mayor Tusi did that, she made out it was a plan, it was this, that and the other, and then she started digging deeper into it and saying, oh well, you know, let's look into the people that are protecting Mayor Tusi, the people that are paid to do a job. Now, the Viking is Mayor Tusi's bodyguard or whatever. He's been a bodyguard to quite a few patriots, and from what I understand, he does it for a very reduced rate. You know what I mean? He's literally the most qualified security in the fucking country at the end of the day. He's a 16-year time served veteran, and he's the highest fucking security that you can get in this country. So for Jupiter to be attacking him, realistically, what was the real reason for the attacks? Because you can't knock him on his past or his history Oh, okay, that's why, because he's become a member of a group that's put together to prevent all these things going on, which is the Shield. Now, Jupiter only started attacking the Shield once I shown support for the Shield. Let's get that straight. All the Pop Sally stuff and all that, whatever, came well down the line. Wendy and Jupiter have been attacking Shield, making out, it's a charity and it's not, we've checked and blah blah blah. These people are not qualified to be able to critique anything. If they don't know the difference between a CIC and a charity, then I'm sorry, but you're not qualified. You're an idiot. You're fucking shitting on people that are trying to do a good thing, and you're coming out with the most wild fucking accusations on anybody around it or whatever. Now, Jupiter last night was doing the usual, attacking things and whatever that she knows fuck all about or whatever, to the point where Viking actually jumped on and went, oh, you know, you're getting everything wrong here or whatever. So I'm gonna put my camera on. Here's my face, here's my words. I'm telling you, you've got your fucking shit mixed up. Don't know where you're getting the information from, but it's all bollocks basically. You're mixing up one thing with another. You obviously don't know what you're talking about. Now, he put his face forward. He even brought Claire Bear on, which is a mod for Paul Thorpe, I believe, and I think Richard Inman as well. Now, these people are good people. These people are what you would describe as patriots. Viking, obviously more so, because at the end of the day, he's literally put his life on the line for the country or whatever for fucking 16 years. Now, if somebody like him, a fully fledged professional in the security industry, is willing to reduce his rate massively to protect people on the right, which he deems to be worthy of his protection, then I'm sorry, but we're gonna go with his word all day long, well over somebody like Jupiter, which has just been a magnet for hope not hate. I'm sorry, but there's no getting away from it. You can say, oh well, I've even said it in the past, there's no evidence to show that Jupiter is hope not hate, but there's plenty, a mountain of evidence to prove that when Jupiter is a massive magnet for hope not hate and for people that despise Tommy Robinson, to the point where they're quite happy to run with any old bullshit, from the likes of Mandy Mosley, who was named in the Hope Not Hate book. Wendy was brave enough to come forward after listening to Mandy's drivel. Oh, Danny Tomo is a nonce and a paedophile. Based off what? Oh well, based off fucking Mandy Mosley's words. Have you been shown any evidence? No, not been shown any evidence, just Mandy's words. Now, when Wendy, Jupiter's co-pilot, is happy enough to come forward and do campaigns of hate based off the words of Mandy Mosley, I'm sorry, but it's very questionable. Very questionable. Now, when that is the case, and they have done that, and they've done that for close to a year, I'm sorry, but I'm allowed to question what the situation is around that narrative. And then you've got Jupiter's other co-pilot, Moon, that literally, the day after, Ginger Tony, Helgower, and Jupiter went through all the Clown World stuff, went through all the Hope Not Hate attacks and all that shit, exposing them for what they are. The very day after, Moon comes forward on Jupiter's live and says, oh well, because of all the attacks on my daughter, which is a shim, a he, she, we'll call it whatever you want, someone from the trans fucking community or whatever, because of all the attacks on that or whatever. Moons then admitted to Jupiter on her live, oh well, I've been reporting all these people, started naming names, Danny Roscoe in the mix, to not only Hope Not Hate but Prevent as well. She'd been making reports to both of them. Then you've had Jupiter try and remix it the day after, saying no, Moon didn't say that, she didn't say that, despite it being already all around the internet and people like ran with it. All the Clipper channels took it and whatever, because at the end of the day it's YouTube gold. If you hate Jupiter, which many people do for very good reasons, do you know what I mean? It literally shits all over her. Now Jupiter came out and lied and said no, Moon didn't say that. She said it was a trans fucking community, some bullshit which Hope Not Hate just fund or whatever. Now that was pure bullshit, pure lies. That was just Jupiter trying to smooth things over to keep a grass to Hope Not Hate and Prevent in the mix. Since then Jupiter's had to admit it. Since then Jupiter's fucking fell out with Moon yet again. Like I told her on a one-to-one, Moon's just going to use the opportunity and stab you in the back. You let her close to you again and she will stab you in the back again. Same as Wendy. Not being funny, but who's done the most damage to Jupiter? Is it not her own, what she calls friends, Moon and Wendy? Who's digging into Jupiter's family and making them all paedophiles on the site or whatever? The site that Eric of Hope Not Hate runs and then has changed hands of. All live, all on a platform, on Wendy's platform. Changed the hands of that site from Eric, who has a business and has things to lose, to AJ, who has nothing to lose. They changed it to him or whatever. Now, it doesn't matter realistically, because all the documentation shows for all the time before that it was Eric. It was Eric's site. It was Eric that was endangering people. It was Eric that was asking for the details of people's family members, car registrations, addresses, etc., in exchange for cash. All that was on Eric, and all that was being done on Wendy's platform for near a year. So for now, Wendy and Jupiter to be coming up with some fucking double agent, deep undercover, Wendy was infiltrating Hope Not Hate bullshit story. Nah, I'm sorry, but it doesn't wash. It doesn't wash. Apart from that, we've got Jupiter on lives all the way along that period of time where Wendy was attacking her family, making out a son, had beat up his children, beat up his wife, smashed up the house, ended up in prison. Proper digging into the family or whatever. So how are you explaining that all that was part of the fucking cover story or whatever to get Wendy into Hope Not Hate to infiltrate? Blah fucking blah. What a load of shit. What a load of shit. Besides that, you've had Jupiter digging into Wendy's family for all that time, dragging people left, right and centre into the mix to try and do the dirty work, digging into family members and whatever. That back and forth went on for a year. And what now, because Wendy wants to come back into the fold or whatever, we'll just make up a storyline. We'll just say that, yeah, it was all staged. I knew all about it. We was just getting Wendy to be able to infiltrate the group. Are you serious? Are you actually serious? Now, what unfolded last night after all the attacks on Mayor Toosey and the bodyguards and whatever that went on for weeks and months on the run up to that, when Viking jumped on there last night, it just kind of crushed all the bullshit. Absolutely destroyed all the nonsense. Did she apologise? Did she fuck? She carried on with it. Oh well, you know, I need to keep asking 1,000,001 questions because I'm the authority of. Because dumb cunts like Danny Roscoe have gone round the fucking internet. Oh, Jupiter's a top patriot. She's the queen of YouTube. No, she's just on YouTube more hours a day than most people are at fucking work or whatever. That doesn't make her the queen. She's the queen of bullshit. She's the queen of all this nonsense and a magnet to hope not hate. That is what she is. Now, all the attacks that happened onto Shield, realistically, turns out to be nonsense, bullshit. Wasn't a scam. Wasn't making out to be a charity in any way, shape or form. Every bit of information which these wankers have run with, including Danny Roscoe, I am calling you out, it is what it is, was just pure bullshit, propaganda and nonsense. Now you can say, well, you know, I'm not really happy that they brought a Muslim dude in there, this Ali Pops or whatever. The attacks from these three came out well before that person even become into the Shield or whatever. So the only person that's relevant, realistically, with their opinions on the Shield is Tommy Robinson. Yeah, okay. I personally think, yeah, it's not the best choice of person to put in a position of power or whatever in the Shield. I agree, or whatever. I think there would have been much better choices for people to choose from, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But all the people that attacked with the bullshit and the propaganda and they're making out it's a charity and it's not. Nah, you're all full of shit. It's time for you wankers to eat some fucking humble pie. Now, what happened last night was just literally a ton of fucking security breaches, a shitload of doxing going on, people being lowered into a fucking cell, a sense of false security, thinking that, you know, this is a patriot environment, blah blah blah, this, that and the other, and people was lowering their guards and fucking sort of doxing themselves, which to me was just madness. I couldn't intervene. I'm blocked on all the accounts. I had no way of warning anybody, and yeah, people said and done mad shit or whatever, all live, all on that fucking hub of hope not hate with Wake Up UK fucking pulling Jupiter strings and ask this and ask that and whatever, just trying to clarify, trying to fucking justify all the previous attacks that they'd previously run or whatever. Now all of it failed, all of it looked ridiculous. Jupiter still didn't apologise, and when Jupiter realised that at the end of it all or whatever, the Viking who'd just proven his worth, just shown everything that Jupiter had been saying to be absolute bullshit, at the end of that she's like, are you part of Shield? He admitted it. He said, yeah, I'm part of Shield or whatever. I'm a county manager of Manchester. Jupiter started rubbing her hands thinking, oh, this is great, we can pull more information out of this. To the point where she thinks now, getting Viking back on there tonight or whatever, she's going to be able to like divulge people's details that have joined the group and all this or whatever. Best of luck with that or whatever. All these people are doing is showing their true colours, realistically. If there was a genuine bone in Jupiter's body, the moment she realised she fucked up with all that, she would have apologised. She didn't. She carried on with the Inspector Gadget questions or whatever. Now, I'm not being funny, but how far do we let this shit continue, realistically? Now, Roy, you was on there, I'm going to tag you to this or whatever. You can question my shit as much as you want. I can fucking provide evidence to anything I've said and done along the way, and will quite happily do so, as I have done every other step of the way. Now, I know for a fact that Roy doesn't know Jupiter properly. He hasn't got a clue, realistically, of any of the track history of Jupiter. He's just going off the say-so of Danny Roscoe. Now, I'm not being funny, but Danny Roscoe, you are questionable at this point in time. I'm not being funny, but when you're quite happy to believe all her bullshit, when you know full well that everything I'm saying is factually correct, it doesn't even come down to opinion, I come with facts and evidence, then I'm sorry, but you are questionable to the point where it's dangerous for what you're doing to allow this fucking hope not hate fucking bunch of cunts around a situation and then make out to people on your live feed that I'm a liar because I said, well, damn it, you know, you're saying I'm fucking smearing people or whatever, but yet you sat here with people from Hope Not Hate, which you know are from Hope Not Hate because we've all sat on a panel and discussed it all, and yourself and Jupiter have literally, with your own words, said that Wendy's Hope Not Hate and all these creepy cunts that was around her are Hope Not Hate. So when I say you are now sat on a panel with Hope Not Hate, what's going on here? I don't get it. You make out I'm a liar. How? When I've got the evidence, realistically, where you agree yourself and Jupiter agreed herself that Wendy is Hope Not Hate. That whole creepy group, Clown World, Hope Not Hate, the fucking lot of them, was all working hand in hand. Not being funny, but when Mandy Mosley is named in the fucking Hope Not Hate book, I don't really need to say much more than that. These people was working hand in hand with that whole group for close to a year. So how am I wrong? How am I a liar, realistically? Not being funny, but you fucked yourself up big time there, because now realistically anything you say is questionable, innit? There's nothing I've said that's questionable because I come with facts and I come with evidence. I can prove every single thing that I say, and I can do that with their own words. What can you do, Danny Roscoe? Nothing. All you can do is side with this fucking magnet of Hope Not Hate and sit there with Wendy Wu, who's done the most vile attacks. Not being funny, but when Wendy can come out and say Danny Roscoe's a terrorist and a woman beater, Danny Tomo is a fucking nonce and a paedophile, based off what Mandy Mosley said, and you think that's okay, yeah? You'd rather sit with them two wonky cunts than have me tell the truth, yeah? Mad. Now, I am going to tag Roy, because Roy was sat there last night with it all, and I'll be honest, Roy, some of the stuff he was coming out with, oh, you know, this is how it all gets resolved with people like Jupiter. We need people like Jupiter, blah, fucking blah. You don't know her history, obviously, and I'm trying hard not to judge you for it or whatever, but I'm willing to have that conversation with you, Roy. We can do it private, we can do it public. I actually think public would be more beneficial to everybody. I'd rather you have the discussion and then make your own mind up based off things you've seen and heard and evidence provided for, than carry on with this madness and do a Danny Roscoe and just bury yourself in bullshit or whatever. Because when real patriots stand back that have fucking seen all this shit unfold, they're going to come up with the same narrative, the same fucking thoughts as me or whatever. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't look good, realistically, cuddling up to these people which have been loud and proudly Hope Not Hate for all that time. These people have been attacking each other for so long and whatever, just because they've done a musical chairs again. Not being funny, but all you have to do is look at the musical chairs that goes on. These people are playing the same game on the same field from both ends of the fucking field, and people are falling for it over and over and over again. That's why good people have come away from this movement. They're not come away from it after investing so much time and effort into it for no good reason. They're doing it because it's become a dangerous environment where people are being doxxed left, right and centre, families are being attacked, jobs are being lost. Do you know what I mean? what are we waiting on realistically? Does somebody have to die or something before people will address shit or whatever? Not being funny, but we've got to a stage where we're not too far away from something really detrimental happening or whatever. You've had Jupiter literally shitting all over this Viking guy for fucking weeks and months, making out his all sorts of fucking shit that he's not. Is this okay with people like you, Roy? Is this okay with people like Danny Roscoe? I'm not even going to tag Danny Roscoe because, to be honest, I think he's lost. I think he's gone to the point of no return. He said enough shit, he's done enough shit to the point where I don't think he's got a point where he can come back from that and obtain any fucking respect for people around the situation, to be honest. But yeah, if Jupiter was a genuine person last night, she would have gone, right, alright, I was fed misinformation. I have been running about making you all sorts of cunts that you're not. And for that, I wholeheartedly apologise. She didn't do that, did she? She didn't do that at all. Now, if we continue on with this madness, realistically, where does it leave us? We're in a predicament, a point in time now where we have to do what's right. You may have to stand with people that you don't get on with or whatever, but on the same hand, you can't stand with people which have literally shown you their true colours, that they are quite happy to work hand in hand with Hope Not Hate and Prevent, to the point where Danny Roscoe's had his children questioned by Prevent. Are you fucking mental? Are you fucking alright? Do you know what I mean? Now, nobody can shut me down, realistically. All that they can do is block you. Oh, big wow, you blocked someone because you couldn't win with words. You realise that they've got the amount of evidence to just keep pulling out and out and out, to the point where you look like cunt. So your only remedy to the situation is block that person. Now, is that a tactic of the left or is that a tactic of the right? Make your own minds up, draw your own conclusions. Now, the fact that Jupiter is going into Searchlight so much and dropping so many breadcrumbs around the situation to then fucking put in danger this Viking Patriot security guard, bodyguard to people that are actual patriots or whatever, to put him in danger, and not only that, to endanger his children, his family and whatever, by guiding people to the fucking, do you know what I mean, to his actual name and shit like that. What are we doing? What are we actually doing? Are you for real? I'm not being funny, but doxing a random person is one thing. Doxing somebody that served for 16 years and is now a high profile fucking bodyguard for the people which he determines to be worthy of his services at a fucking dramatic cut to the cost or whatever. I'm not being funny, but you don't endanger that person, you don't endanger that person's family, but you did so last night, Jupiter. I lost count of the amount of times that you kept going on about Searchlight or whatever. Just kept dropping breadcrumbs around for people to fucking divulge. Now, it is mad. It is proper mad, to the point where you're just banging your head off the wall thinking, this is why people are coming away from the movement. People, decent people that have been in this fucking movement twice the amount of time that Jupiter's even been on the internet. Jupiter says, oh, I've been to loads of rallies. No, you haven't. Stop lying. You've been to one demonstration with Tommy. You turned up late. You turned up for about an hour. You did your little photo opportunity or whatever with your little short video just showing, oh look, I'm a representing Team Tommy. Yeah, great. You turned up and then you fucked off. You fucked off before everyone left. You fucking arrived well after fucking everyone had been there for hours. You stayed for a short amount of time, did your little photo op and then fucked off. You're not a patriot, you've not been to loads of rallies, stop lying. You've been to fucking Speaker's Corner a couple of times and got slapped around the fucking Speaker's Corner by a Muslim girl half your size. Big wow. You ain't been to no fucking rallies, you've been to one demonstration. That's it. We're not going to count the other one where he was outside the prison where Tommy was in prison, because I'm not being funny, but it's been made very clear by yourself and Wendy and all the people that you consider friends that your son was in that same prison. So you'd obviously just gone and visited your son, and you're trying to spin that as, oh, I was supporting Tommy where he was used. Not being funny, but my track history speaks for itself. I've been all over the movement. I've supported anybody and everybody. I'm not on about just, oh, I've turned up at a demo, or, oh, I've shared some posts. I've drove around in a car with a screen in it with fucking loud hailer speakers, pulling up in fucking high public areas and whatever, giving out fucking leaflets and whatever, putting up posters for up and coming demos and whatever in that particular area. You name it, I've done it. I've turned up with fucking carfuls of security for the day or whatever, whether that be for Tommy, Britain First, fucking PAG UK, you name it. Anything that's been around realistically of worth, I've been there, I've supported it all. I've drove all over the fucking country. I've done so at great expense, whether that be financially or having little rats like the people around you running around doxing family members and all sorts of fucked up shit. Not being funny, but when they're whacking your fucking son out on Wake Up UK, putting his fucking Facebook on there, putting his pictures up there, putting his workplace up there, making sure that he gets a sack or whatever. When they've done all this, how are you then trying to make out that these people are patriots? I'm sorry, but it doesn't work, it doesn't wash, you're full of shit, and the mountain of evidence proves that. So for dickheads like Danny Roscoe, oh, she's the fucking queen of YouTube, fucking dumb cunt, dumb fucking cunt. Now, I'm not even willing to speak to Danny Roscoe. I think he's a prick now, to be honest. I think he's fucking wonky as fuck. I'll quite happily speak to Roy. I can tell he's a genuine person. You know what I mean? I'm quite happy to speak to AY. I think he's a decent, fucking honest person. You know, these people I would describe as patriots that are just low on information about what's gone on in these particular fucking parts of YouTube. Now, that's not a stain on them. If you don't know, then you don't fucking know. But, do you know what I mean? The common sense, logic and reason, realistically, has got to come into play, and you think, well, let's have the conversation, and then let's, you know, you can ask anything you want, you can request any evidence you want. Once you've been provided with all that, then you can make your opinion a much more healthier, balanced opinion based on the facts and the evidence, and then you can choose your own fucking path or whatever. Now, there will only be one outcome from that, because I've not lied, I've not had to dox anybody, I've not had to go to mental fucking lengths that these cunts have to attack, you know what I mean, people, patriots, fucking, it's just madness. The only people I've attacked are absolute wonky cunts of the left, realistically. I can show this going back as many years as you wish to fucking count or whatever. Now, when the people on the opposite, on the other end of my attacks or whatever, are the very same people that Jupiter's making out of decent people, this, that and the other, sorry, but the evidence shows that to be bullshit. The evidence shows me to be 110% correct and you to be a lying sack of dog shit. That's just fact. Now, it's one of them, innit? Roy's only going with the thing of Jupiter's a patriot, blah blah blah, because Danny Roscoe said, not being funny, but Danny Roscoe's not been around 2 fucking minutes, and he seemed rather fucking pissed off and angry when I asked well, where did you pop up from? Now, when Jupiter said it 2 nights ago, that Danny Roscoe popped up from nowhere, he didn't start having a little spaz attack over that, did he? But when I've asked, oh, it's a big problem. I ask everybody, what brought you to being awake? What brought you to the movement? What brought you to, you know, whatever. I asked Triller last night. He didn't have a shit fit. He didn't start fucking crying all over the internet, did he? He just answered what brought him, what woke him up to certain things and whatnot, and brought him to where he is now. I've asked many people. To me, it's an interesting question to ask, and it's an interesting answer, which you will usually get. Not everybody's online, not everybody's whatever. If you're just sat at home watching the TV or whatever is your supply of fucking news, I'm not being funny, but you're kept in the dark like a fucking mushroom. You're not being fed the truth, are you, realistically? So, yeah. Now, apparently Viking's going to be back on there tonight. Fuck knows where that's going to go or whatever. That's all I will say to people. Be cautious around this shower of shit, because they're not to be trusted in any way, shape or form. That's why these people have been booted out of every community that they've been in. That's why they are hated by most communities around. They'll give you the line of, oh, it's because I'm a Tommy supporter. Fuck off. People hated you when you hated Tommy. People hated you when you was calling Tommy a fucking grifter and all this shit and attacking everything around him. So don't come with the bullshit of, oh, I'm Tommy's supporter now. Yeah, you might be now because it's fashionable. I'm sorry, but supporting Tommy and Britain First and all that years ago compared to now, it's lightweight now. People have put in all the hard work. People have proved all the points. People have destroyed the leftist narrative to the point where all they're left with, they know they've got no argument. Oh, well, we'll just infiltrate groups. Every fucking group has been infiltrated at some point along the way, and they will continue to do that as long as it works. Now, sitting in an echo chamber where fucking people are not allowed to question the narrative, not allowed to disprove the bullshit, whatever, that's not helping anybody. That is not helping anybody. Come the fuck out of the echo chamber and let's have honest, open discussions, and let's all leave on the facts and the evidence, and then you've got a healthy opinion to build upon, knowing the facts and the evidence. That's it. That's my line. That's my fucking narrative, if you like. Now, when you can do that, we can build, we can box off, we can move forward. But to do that, you need to know the past problems and the past actions of people which are playing you like a fucking fiddle. It is that simple. I've not lost 100 channels for nothing. Speaking out the truth, coming with the facts and the evidence, doesn't generally suit everybody, and it is always the left which then realise we can't attack with words, we can't win with words. He's got a mountain of evidence. All we can do is block him, delete his fucking videos, delete his fucking channels. That's why I've lost over 100 channels, for speaking the truth, for protecting veterans from scams and bullshit, fucking treasonous plots and all sorts of fucked up shit. That's fact. That is just fact. So I am going to tag Roy. I'm not going to bother tagging Danny. I think that ship's fucking sailed or whatever. I won't bother wasting my time with somebody like Roscoe. But I'll quite happily speak to Roy. I have said a good few weeks ago I wouldn't mind a chat with him or whatever. And I think that's about it, realistically. The decent people will always shine through and show their worth, show what they're saying is correct, regardless of how many fucking channels get lost and whatever. So yeah, enjoy the weekend, look after each other, stay safe, and I will catch you on the next one.